Hey everyone, so today I'm just going to be doing a quick tutorial on how I got this look. So first thing you're going to want to do is just to dampen your hair a little bit. I know some people like to style their hair dry, but I think it's a lot better when you have a little bit of dampness to your hair because it makes it easier to run the product through your hair. So what I like to do when I first start styling my hair is to just use some foam or some mousse in my hair. I like to use Giovanni. It has a nice firm hold. It's very lightweight. You can also use Nexus if you want, or you could even use Got to Be Collagen Infusion. Any of those will work. Foam isn't required. You don't have to use foam, but I like it because it's a really easy way to just shape your hair before you put in the product. It's a really good primer, so that's what I like to use before I put in any product in your hair. Also prevents product from getting stuck in your hair. So first thing you're going to want to do is just take like one pump and run it through your fingers a bit. Then just make sure it gets into your roots. And distribute it evenly through, in my case, just the top of my head. That's all. So next you're just going to take your pomade. This is Giovanni pomade. You can also use like a matte clay or putty for this look too, but I'm just going to use my pomade for this. So take it out. Spread it through your fingers first. Make sure there's not a lot of big clumps in your hand. And just run it through. I just like to kind of scrub it into my roots. Spread it evenly. My hair parts kind of this way, so I just simply will drag my hair to the other side. So here it is so far. Once I'm all done with that, after the pomade, I like to run through my hair one more time with a gel, and this one is the Hardhead Bedhead, what is it, TG Mohawk Gel. I like to use this especially on any parts of my hair that have colics in it, so I just will take, you don't need a lot for this, and this is coming from someone that uses a lot of product in their hair. You really don't need that much, and make sure run it through your fingers first, and then see, I'm really focusing on the areas that stick up, because you don't want a lot of hair sticking up. At least I don't. I really don't like when my hair sticks up, so I just like to run this through. You don't need to cover the whole head, but just focus on any areas that might stick up or any like looser hairs. And then you kind of go like this at the end, just so it's not so flat. I just like to focus on hairs that stick up a little bit. I also get the back. Sometimes people, when they style their hair, guys will forget the very back of the head, but it's still a pretty important area to remember. And just go like that a little. Now, before you apply your hairspray, if you want to kind of go like this a little bit, kind of like mess it up, kind of, you know, if you don't want it to be perfectly straight, comb down. If you want it to be a little messy, it's a pretty common look, so sometimes I'll do that. So it's not so flat against the head. Just want to make sure all the hairs are together. So there is that. Alright, so now it's time to apply my hairspray. Now you can really use any kind of hairspray with this, Big Sexy Hair will work. If you just want to use like a suave hairspray, just like a basic hairspray, that will work too. I am going to be using my Paul Mitchell Flexible Style spray. This is the fast drying sculpting spray. This stuff is really, really good with keeping your hair right in place. It's really good with your hair being any kind of mold, especially if you have longer hair that you're trying to style up and everything. And this stuff is amazing. Really, you don't need this for hair this short, but for me, I just like to make sure all the hairs are together and intact, and it really is great with styling hair. So now it's time to apply the hairspray. Now really you can use any sort of hairspray for this. If your hair is this short, it really doesn't matter. You don't even need hairspray if you don't want to. But I always like to use it as a finishing touch just because product can wear out during the day. It holds it a lot better, and you know, if you sweat, it can like run down your face. So I think applying hairspray is always a good thing to do at the end of any time you style your hair, no matter what length it is. Really, you don't need any special hairspray for this. I like to use my Paul Mitchell most of the time. This is the fast drying sculpting spray. This is a very, very strong, firm hairspray. If you want, you could literally just use any Big Sexy Hair or even like a suave hairspray for this. But for me, because I have a lot of colics in the front and the back of my hair, I like to use this because it really is great for any sort of mold that you're trying to keep your hair in. Any sort of mold, it's really good. So if you have like long hair, especially long hair that you're trying to style and you want to hold like something that's very hard to manage, this stuff is amazing. I absolutely love this hairspray, and I use it most of the time when I style my hair. But it's really good for holding colics. So I just shake the bottle a bit and just spray about 3 to 4, maybe 5 squirts, and just leave it and let it dry. Now, this hairspray will leave your hair very crunchy throughout the day, so depending on how much that affects you, if you really, really don't like that, then maybe don't use this hairspray. I mean, it's really not required for hair this short, but again, if you have colics or anything that will stick straight up, or any hair that's hard to manage, I definitely recommend a very strong hold and a very firmly holding hairspray. So I definitely recommend. Now, after you apply your hairspray, if you want to have your hair shine or stand out more, I recommend like a little argan oil mist. This is great if you don't have a very vibrant hair color. Like I have a very dirty blonde, dark blonde, light brown color that isn't very vibrant. So this will make your hair stand out a bit more. So definitely use an argan oil spray. If you're going to do this, do not use the oil that you have to like rub through your hair, because that will prevent your hair from holding. That'll affect the hairspray, so your hair won't hold as well. If you run that through your hair after you've applied your hairspray, that'll kind of fuck up the hold. So I would recommend a spray, like a dry argan oil spray. It's really good for hair that's just been styled, where you just use hairspray. So I recommend the Mark Anthony brand. It's the one I like to use the most. It also smells really, really good. So yeah, I just apply like 2 to 3 little sprays. It's a very dry styling oil, so it won't like make your hair all like moist throughout the day. So it's really good. Again, if you've just styled your hair, I definitely recommend it. All right, here is the final look. And that's all. See you in the next video. Please like and subscribe.